Hey, hey, hey! We are live. And we're just going to sit here for just a minute because, it takes a minute for everyone to get live. Not get live because we're live, but for you to see us be live. 15 seconds. It's 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I got my notes and we're going to get this party started. All right.
If you're watching right now, you're probably watching the replay. So just hashtag replay down below so that when Rianne goes back through, she knows you watched after the live was aired and she can go back and answer any questions that you have.
See, she's smart. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to use that every time. Replay. Okay. So hopefully, oh, look, we have 7 people. I'm pointing to it like they can see me pointing. So we're going to get started. So welcome to ReLive, where we talk about all the things. And tonight, right now, I have my very first guest in ReLive studio.
Right.
And she's not being rude. She's advertising for this show because we want everyone to see it. So I have with me tonight, some of you locals may know this beautiful face sitting next to me, Brittany Outlaw. She is a mom of 4. She's married and she has her own business. And that's what tonight is all about. We're going to talk about women with at-home businesses and that success can really be yours. And Brittany's been in business for 10 years. So she's going to talk about that. So I met Brittany about probably 5 or 6 years ago in MOPS. Moms of preschoolers, and I found out she had this bra business, and I was like, dude, I need a new bra. And so she uplifted my girls, and we've been friends ever since.
Sure.
So yeah. So Brittany,
Yes.
Before we get started,
Yeah.
I have some icebreaker questions for you.
I'm ready.
So today I was doing my hair, and I was like, I hate doing my hair. I really do. You guys, I don't like to wash it. I don't like to do it. I think it never looks good. So I was thinking, when I win the lottery, the first thing I'm going to hire is somebody to do my hair and makeup.
Okay.
Because I hate doing those things. So I'm just curious, what would you hire? What would be the first person you would hire?
I would hire an assistant.
An assistant.
To dictate all of my thoughts to, that can remind me of the things that I need to get done, that can say, hey, you forgot to send that email, reminder to answer those 17 unread text messages. That would just help me keep my life.
Okay. So it'd be like a live Alexa.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. If you guys are watching, we'd love to know what you're going to hire too. Now the next question, if you don't answer this correctly, it might be the end of ReLive tonight.
The pressure is on.
What way does the toilet paper have to go?
Over.
Over.
It's the only way.
It's the only way. And I have been known to change the toilet paper wherever I am. If it's coming under, it doesn't work for me. So if I'm at your house and it's under and I go to the bathroom, if I can get to it, it's going over.
Sounds like they better take the hint.
Yeah, so over. It's the only way.
Okay.
All right, just one more. One more. What's your biggest pet peeve in life?
Bad drivers, probably.
Yeah, bad drivers.
People that don't signal. I could have turned, but you didn't have your signal on, so I didn't know you were turning, and I could have gone, but they put it on your car for a reason, and you didn't use it.
Yeah. So I have to be careful because that's one of mine too. But sometimes Liam's in the car with me, and so he picks up on things. He's like, "Dumb driver," and then I feel bad. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So it's probably going to be one of his pet peeves too.
I have old white people names for all of the I'll be like, "Okay, Betty, let's go." And my kids, yeah, they know.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we've got those down, wow, our comments are really blowing up.
Yay.
People are super excited. Okay, so tonight I said we're going to talk about women with at-home businesses and success. And if there are any men watching, the reason we're talking about women is because according to the Direct Sale Association, 75% of direct sellers are women. So tonight, we are very fortunate to have a Brittany here. She's a very busy lady. And I really appreciate her coming in tonight. She's going to tell us a little bit about her story. She's going to give us some success tips so that success really, truly can be yours. So tonight, if you are watching right now or if you're watching the replay, feel free to use that chat feature and we'll kind of keep an eye on it throughout the night and answer some of your questions. And the first one I would like to put out there, if you've tried an at-home business or if you currently have a successful at-home business, we'd love for you to drop that in and kind of see what the results are of that. So just some quick statistics. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, women-owned businesses employ 8.4 million people. I think that's incredible. 8.4 million people because of women that had the courage and were brave to start an at-home-based business. And then almost all of those, in fact, 99.9%, so really, let's round up to 100% of the women-based businesses, the at-home-based businesses, are considered small businesses. So that means they have fewer than 500 employees. So tonight, Brittany, I just want to start off with what motivated you to get started?
When I first got started, I just wanted to I was working a full-time job and my paycheck was pretty much paying for daycare. So I just wanted to be able to have the ability to stay at home with my kids.
Okay. And was that something that you thought about a lot, or did you just kind of like fall into it and jump right in like, hey, this is what I'm going to do?
I thought about it a lot only because I didn't have the money was my biggest obstacle. And if I look back, I could have done so many more things to get the money. I was just kind of like, I don't have the money to do it. I want to, but I just don't have the money.
Right. And isn't that true? Like money dictates everything. Like if it's not money, it's time, right? Can I get an amen? Like seriously, money or time dictates our lives.
Shows you what you value.
Yeah, absolutely. So were you scared or nervous to get started?
I wasn't scared or nervous. I didn't really put that much thought into it. I just knew that it was something that could make a huge difference.
Okay. Because I've tried several at-home businesses and I don't ever think about it a lot. I just kind of jump in. I'm like, whatever, it's either going to work or it's not, and I'll rebound. So I'm kind of like you. Like I never really put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah. Moving
forward, I'm just like, I'm going to do this.
Right.
Why do you think some people are nervous to start their own at-home based business?
2 reasons. One, I think, is the unknown. There's people that just, unless they have all the answers to all the questions, they're leery about jumping into something. Mm-hmm. And then I think the other reason is they're afraid of failure.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're just afraid that, they're going to do everything right, or they're going to try their hardest and it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
People are afraid of failure.
Because ultimately failure is rejection, right? In a way.
Some people.
Yeah, some people. Yeah. But I mean, look, Post-it notes were created because of a failure, right? Mm-hmm. And there was just something else we were watching on TV the other day. I can't remember. It was, a type of plastic that's used in almost everything today was created off of a failure. So like all the molded plastic, like in furniture, was a failure. Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes you have to fail to succeed, and that's okay.
We tell our kids that all the time.
Yeah. Just try. Like, you never know what's going to happen.
If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. You tried.
Absolutely. And you can look back at that and be like, yeah, I did that. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about direct selling. It's the most accessible path to entrepreneurship. And I thought about this, and one of the reasons why, according to the Direct Selling Association, is because most of them have a low cost of entry. If you think of all the entrepreneurships, like if you wanted to start a fast food chain, it's like thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
And for most of the direct sell businesses that, 75% of the women are doing, the cost is relatively inexpensive. Even if women didn't have the money to put out, they could probably put it on a credit card or borrow it from somebody and be able to pay that expense off within the first month, usually, right?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the requirements of the DSA is that the company, whichever company that is, has at least one kit that is at underneath the $100 mark. So $79, $99, that's one of the requirements of being in the DSA.
Oh, awesome. And what's the cost for Essential Bodywear?
We have 3 kits prices right now, $99. $199. I think it's under $200.
Okay.
I like $199, $249, and $499.
Okay.
3 different price points.
Just depending where they want to get in and all the amenities that you give them, all the business supplies and stuff.
I will say that one of the best things about Essential Bodywear is across the DSA, we know this from the statistics, everything has to be like posted and looked at, is that we put the most in our kit. So like a lot of times you'll see kits that are like $99, it's $300 worth of product. Our like $499 kit, for instance, has $4,000 worth of product in it. So we give you the most for the amount that you're paying for the kit, which really helps you get your business off to a really good start.
And you said that was $399 for the $4,000 worth of stuff?
$499 for that.
$499. That's a lot of goods, ladies. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we talked about that. Now I want to move up to another interesting statistic. I can't talk tonight. It's probably the wine. According to Forbes, 89% of direct sellers run their business part-time, working under 10 hours a week. So I think that is a huge attractive feature to a lot of these at-home businesses. How many hours would you say you run your business?
I probably spend at this point, I'm probably spending between 15 and 25 hours a week. Mm-hmm. But that's not just doing home parties, social media marketing, things like that. I also have a team that I coach and help them with their businesses and things like that. So my business has grown to the point where it's not just me doing sales and things like that. It's expanded, so I'm spending a lot more time.
Okay, so awesome. So this 10 hours a week is probably for people that are just getting started and growing your business, and then you are, much more than that.
You can accomplish a lot in 10 hours a week.
Absolutely. It's amazing if you just put your mind to it and focus how much you can really get done. I remember in high school, one of our teachers challenged us, let's see how much work you can get done in 5 minutes. And I was like, seriously, 5 minutes? Mm-hmm. You can get a lot done if you're like laser focused. You can get a lot done in 5 minutes. Let's take a break and check the chat and see if there are any questions here. Let me get up close and personal with you guys. So all these people have joined. Thank you guys so much for your support. Let's see. It's not scrolling, so I don't know.
You sure? Oh, there you go.
Caitlin just joined. So Brittany's business is Essential Bodywear. Do you want to talk about that a little bit for the people watching? And I'll check here.
I'm a professional bra stylist. I help ladies look and feel great just by changing what they're wearing underneath their clothing. So bras, panties, shapewear. We've expanded our line beyond that now, but just helping ladies get the right fit can just drastically change the way that their clothes fit, the way that they feel. So it's crazy important.
There's a big statistic out there of how many women are wearing the wrong size bra.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. If you guys watched my pilot episodes, 8 is an important number to me. 8 out of 10. Get your bras checked, lady. Okay. All right. So, Brittany, do you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
I do. And my husband and I vastly disagree about this.
Okay.
I think to a lot of people, they think an entrepreneur is somebody who, starts from scratch, creates a product, markets it, all of those things.
Sure.
And while I do have the umbrella of Essential Bodywear, I still had to build a business. I still had to build a client base. I still had to find loyal customers. I still had to brand myself. I still have to take care of those customers, make sure that they're happy. I still have to market my business and my products. So what I have built in the last 10 years has showed me that although some people may not consider me an entrepreneur, I consider me an entrepreneur.
Sure. I think that's an interesting point because I think I might have been on the side of your husband a little bit. I feel like an entrepreneur is a creator, like somebody that, did invent something, but an entrepreneur is not an inventor.
Right.
It would be interesting to look up what the definition of an entrepreneur is. I probably should have thought about that for tonight, but that's another story for another night. So with your home business, do you employ anybody else?
I do not. Every once in a while, I will hire assistants for various tasks that I don't have time to do, but I don't have anybody that's like a full-time employee or a regular employee.
Okay. Do you ever think that your business will get to that point where you need to do that? Mm-hmm. And would you say that your business, I feel like your business has grown a lot over the past probably 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think so? Mm-hmm. That's really awesome. That's really awesome. All right. So another thing that I found that were some interesting statistics, according to the DSA, the Direct Selling Association. Are you guys ready for this? The amount of sales that were done in 2018. I found this amazing. 35.4 billion. That's billion with a B.
Yeah.
Think about that. Direct sales in 2018, 35.4 billion. Mm-hmm. It says that there are 6.2 million direct sellers with a customer base of 36.6 million customers. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. So just think about that for a minute, ladies and gentlemen, and whoever's watching. That's an huge, incredible amount of money that without these women, we wouldn't have these products. So I'm sure in this next statistic, so 1 in 7 households are involved in direct sales. 1 in 7. Yeah. So think about that, everybody that's watching. Surely you all purchase something, if not on a regular basis, but have purchased something from somebody that is direct sales.
Yep.
There are so many different. Can you give a couple other examples?
31, Pampered Chef. If you buy like Mary Kay, things like that. If you've purchased Avon, I don't know if Avon's direct sales, but those type of like those almost everybody has purchased something from somebody that
absolutely
they've been to a jewelry party or
absolutely things that you, I guess, would it be fair to say like things that you go to somebody's house to purchase or
home-based businesses or their party plan companies.
Party plan, yeah, absolutely. So 35.4 billion in sales, incredible, absolutely incredible. And then I thought this was interesting because you and I both fall into this age range. 26% of the sellers are in the 35 to 44 range, and that was the highest age bracket according to the Direct Sales Association.
Right. The young ones are like coming up strong though. College age students and kids that are coming out of high school. I wish that I had the statistics, but they are so very quickly realizing that college isn't necessarily the way to go anymore, that it's entrepreneurship. And so the numbers of like 18-year-olds, like people that are in college or just having graduated from high school that are joining direct sales businesses or starting their own businesses, the numbers are insane because they're realizing like, I don't have to go into debt. I can literally start a business just like this. I can make my own schedule. I can, use social media to market my business, which I'm really good at already, and not have all of the debt incurred.
Sure, absolutely. And I think today we have an advantage because we do have social media. I would say that really helps a lot with the direct sales industry. And then also, I think the generation coming up behind us has a lot of different work ethics and things that aren't necessarily as important to us or the generation ahead of us.
Right.
Are more important to them, like the flexibility, the being able to work when they want to, and things of that nature. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see these numbers continue to grow, and that younger range is going to overtake us.
Absolutely.
Cool. So to you, like, what does it mean to be a direct sales company for all of those watching? Like maybe somebody doesn't understand what that means.
So direct sales is, like I said, it's kind of under that umbrella of the Direct Sales Association, but it's a party plan company, which means typically you are taking your product into someone's home and offering it for sale. You're showing them the value, you're offering sometimes some sort of service, and then that is what attracts people to it. Not just that they can go to the store and maybe buy something similar, but you start to form a relationship with those customers, and then you know them, you know what their needs are, you know what they want, and so those relationships are what keep them coming back. And I think every business that is a party plan business has different ways that they sell, but that's how they're modeled, is in homes, a party, everybody's there, you're purchasing, there's a hostess who gets rewards for inviting her friends into her home, and that's typically the business model.
Absolutely. And who doesn't like to have people over to their house and hang out?
In this day and age when everybody is so busy, I think it's a great excuse to get your girlfriends together. You say to your friends all the time, like, hey, we need to get together. Hey, but how often do you actually do it?
Right.
And when you can invite your friends over, have a glass of wine, literally just hang out and have fun, I feel like there's no better way to do that.
And it's a product that both the direct sale agent, the direct seller, is passionate about, and it's something that your girlfriend really likes and like thinks you should know about it. I mean, how often do you go to a store and you're like, oh my gosh, I just bought the best chapstick ever. Like, let me tell you about it. So that's why women do it. I've been known to host several parties, not just bra parties, but jewelry parties and Tastily Simple and Pampered Chef, like all of those. So I think it's fun. And if you don't like to host, like somebody else in your girlfriend group likes to host.
Right.
All right. So with DSA, are there a lot of different regulations that you guys have to follow?
There are, but I think of them more as like guidelines, things to kind of keep you in check. And like kind of like I said, like you have to have a kit, an entry kit that's at a certain price point. So while we do have kits that are more expensive, we have to have something around that like $200 range, which makes it affordable. Most people can come up with $200.
Sure.
And then there are some other guidelines as far as like pricing structure for shipping and different things like that. But they're more so to keep companies in check, to protect the customers and to protect the consultants.
And so these are all things set by the DSA that your company has to follow. They aren't things that you had to come up with or things of that nature.
The company has to follow those in order to be a part of the DSA. It's like the homeowners association, like keep your grass in check, like clean up your dog crap, like all of the things to make sure that the neighborhood stays nice. And if you can't follow the rules, then like you can't be a part of us.
Right. That makes sense.
You can't sit with us.
You can't sit with us. Why do you think, and I think we touched on this a little bit, but let's just circle back to it because I think it is really important to think about those younger people coming up next to us. But this type of company is gaining so much popularity. Mm-hmm. Like, why do you think that is?
It's the flexibility. It's the fact that you can make your own schedule, that you can decide when you want to work, how much you want to work, how much you want to make, and do it on your terms. I heard a statistic today, like 70% of people hate their job.
Wow.
But so many people are hesitant about direct sales, but it's like, it's an opportunity for you to just take some time out for you, really do something that you love, and you're the boss. Like, you decide when you want to work. You decide if you're going to, like, make it to your kid's softball game or you're going to work that night. And so it puts you in the driver's seat.
Right. So it'd be interesting. That's a really interesting statistic. And if you don't want to participate, that's fine. But how many of you hate your job? Like, how many of you can be like, I'm in that 70%, or maybe there's the 30% of you that love your job. So there's probably a direct sales opportunity out there for you. It just depends, what income you need to replace, what your personality is. And I think too, like, if you love the product enough, you'll have no problem like telling people about it.
Yeah, we do it with everything. People say like, oh, I'm not a salesperson, or I don't think I could sell something. But every time you said earlier, like, oh, let me tell you about this chapstick, or hey, I went to this new frozen custard place. Every time we tell our friends about that, that's social selling. You're telling them about something you love, that you experienced, that was amazing, and you think they should check it out too. And that's exactly what direct sales is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This girl's got some information, guys. All right. So if somebody on here is thinking, you know what, I am in that 70%, and I think I am going to pursue a direct sales avenue, like what are some things that you would urge them to do? Like, what kind of homework should they do before just jumping head in, like I tend to do?
So a couple things. You want to make sure that you love the product. You want to make sure that it's something that you're passionate about, that you use on a regular basis, and that other people are going to use. You want to make sure that the company offers support. A lot of times people get excited and they join a company, and the person maybe that they signed up under maybe they don't know what they're doing, or maybe they're not willing to find the answers. And I think the person that sponsors you being knowledgeable or being willing to learn with you is really, really important, because you're signing up to do a business. And if the person that you're wanting to do that with isn't supporting you, then you will have a lot less likely chance to be successful. And then two, how much are you really able to make? Like, what is the commission plan? What are the party averages? If you make 50% commission, but the party average for that company is $300, and this other company over here, it's 25%, but their consultants are averaging $800 parties. Well, that 25% seems like less, but when you really break it down, it's not, because you're making so much more bang for your buck in one evening. So things like that, how much you're making, those are going to be really important questions to really ask in order to make a good decision.
I think you bring up a good point about looking at the percentage of your commission, because a lot of times, we look at the little things like, oh, well, I'm only going to make 30% where I can make 60 or 50% over here. But that brings up a good point. Like, make sure you look at what the party average is, what the party average is, and don't be afraid to ask those hard questions too, because if you're going to put some time and energy into this, like, you want to make sure you're making the best decision for you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I think those are really good options. Let's take a look again and see. Hey. Okay, no more questions. All right. So Brittany has been in business for 10 years, you guys. 10 years. So she's clearly successful, and she clearly knows what she's talking about. So tonight I wanted to make sure that we provided some takeaways for our viewers. and give kind of some tips if you are in an at-home based business, or if you're thinking about it, kind of like, what is it that would be some good things to know? So first of all, why don't you tell them, what's the one thing, if you only have 20 minutes a day to devote to your business, like what's the one thing you have to make sure you get done that day?
If I had one thing to do every single day, it would be follow up with customers.
Follow up with customers.
Just customers that have already ordered, just making sure that they've received their products, that they're happy, that they don't have any questions or concerns. Because like keeping your existing customers happy while getting new customers is awesome. Keeping your existing customers happy is like crucial to building your business.
Absolutely. No customers, no business. Right. No happy customers, no word of mouth, social selling. Like, go check out Brittany. She's so awesome. Okay. So this is kind of the opposite of that. Like, why do you think people aren't successful in these businesses?
I think that a lot of people are not successful because they want to just like put it out there and they want it to happen. And direct sales is substantially easier and more flexible than your typical 9-to-5, but it does take work. You hear the saying like dreams don't work unless you do. And a lot of times people want to like just put a post on Facebook like, hey, I'm doing this. If you're interested, let me know. You might as well start a home-based business in a rural town, write on your little like 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, like, hey, I started a new business, put it in your window, and then wonder why nobody stops by your house to shop whatever it is that you're selling. Because while you think people saw it, you know, I've got 900 Facebook friends. Everyone saw it and no one's supporting me. Well, no, you have to ask for the support. Sure. Sometimes that's uncomfortable, but the right sponsor can help you with that verbiage. They can help with ideas and tips and things like that. So I think that's the biggest thing is people want to just like put it out into the universe and things happen. And it does take work.
It takes time, and they're not get rich quick.
No, not at all.
And I think that might be some of the like stigma around those is people think, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be a millionaire in 2 weeks, like, or I'm going to be able to quit my full-time gig in like 6 months. But that's not at all what it does. Take hard work.
Yeah, it does take work. It does take time. But if you are consistent and you like follow the model, it's very easy to build your business in a sustainable way that can replace a full-time job.
Sure, absolutely. And I think consistency is the key. And I think it's, you know, that's like parenting. Like if you want your child to do something, like you need to be consistent about what it is you want them to do. So I think that's really important. And I cracked up so much because that's totally me. Like I will not research, jump in head first and be like, hey guys, I did this, and think overnight, like I'm gonna wake up with like 50 messages like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're coming to save me and do this. And that's not how it works, y'all.
Right.
Okay, I just said y'all. All right, guys, we're getting down to some of the fun questions about learning about Mrs. Outlaw. How cool is her name, her last name too? Like seriously, like she's an outlaw. I think it's cool. It's like I had a friend that I worked with at Indiana State, and if you're watching, like I'm totally calling you out, her maiden name was Royalty. I would not have changed my name.
Yeah, that was a questionable choice.
Yeah. So anyway, hey Heather. So what do you think? So you've been in business for 10 years. What has been the hardest lesson that you've learned during these 10 years?
Not overbooking myself, like making sure that I schedule out time on the calendar to do nothing. Because as somebody who is working a day job and owning a business, it can be very easy to just like fill in all the blanks. Like, oh, I have to do this. I have to make sure people know. I have to book a party. I have to do all this stuff. And then what happens is you never have a weekend, and you go through these cycles where you're just starting to be like, oh, like I need a day off, but you're doing it to yourself. So overbooking myself and saying yes to everything because I'm excited about, I want people to know I'm not worth anything to anybody, including myself, if I don't take time off for me, just a day to do nothing, whether that's like shop at Target or, you know, go to Indy for the day or stay in my bed all day. I have to make sure that I block off time, like just for me. That's not for work. And that's the biggest lesson that I've had to learn.
So, I mean, you're a mom though, so you don't ever really get to stay in your bed all day, right?
My kids are older, so they all feed themselves and wipe their own butts. So I have a little bit more leeway than someone with like toddlers.
Okay. So are there any moms out there who are kind of looking forward to that day where you can just like, hey, it's 3:00 and I haven't got out of bed yet. Awesome. And that kind of leads into my next question. Like, how do you balance your business? You know, you do have a full-time gig. You have 4 kids. You have a husband. You volunteer at all over Greater Lafayette area. You sing in your church. Like, how do you balance all of that?
I have an amazing planner.
Okay.
That is essential to my life functioning. And I map out at the beginning of the month, I map out when I want to work. I put, my kids' schedule on there, when my husband's working, when I'm working, our other obligations. And then I see where the holes are. And I'm like, okay, this is when we're going to have date night. And these are the nights that I'm going to work. And I highlight those days. And those are the days that I work.
Okay.
If somebody says, like, I want to have a party, and they're like, I want to do it on this date. And I say, I'm sorry, I'm not available. And I think that's another mistake that direct sellers make, is they kind of just want to like open their calendar, be like, when do you want to have a party? One of the advantages that I have of running my own business is I get to decide.
Sure.
Because how horrible would it be? I've done this before. When you let a hostess decide the date, like, hey, when do you want to have a party? Or you book something because you just like on free spirit. And then suddenly you realize like you didn't have it in your planner, but that's your kid's band concert. And you already said yes, so now you're like, okay, do I cancel? Do I miss the band concert? But when I have all that stuff in my planner, and I'm like, no, that date's not highlighted. Like, I have to double check before I reserve that with you, because I know that there's a reason I didn't pick that day to work. So it puts me in control. There's no snafus. I don't disappoint anybody, and I'm in good shape.
I think that's a really good point, because if we're shopping at Target, like, I can't call Target up and say, hey, I want to shop at 2:00 in the morning. So can you make sure you're open?
Right.
Like, no, Target sets their hours, and we follow.
If they really want to have a party with me, they'll be available on one of the dates that I'm available. And if they're not, like if Monday evening works best for them and I'm not available on Mondays, then I will refer them to a team member who can do a party on a Monday, and they can still have their bra party and everybody's happy, and I didn't make anybody mad or miss band concert.
That's important.
Yeah.
Because you don't get the band concert back.
Right. Never.
Awesome. Okay. And then my final question is, what would be the one tip that you would give a woman that is interested in thinking about starting a direct sales company? And then also a tip for a woman that has started one and is kind of just starting. Maybe it's the same tip, maybe it's not.
For somebody who is just starting, I would say touch your business every single day. And do not, like I said earlier, just put it out into the universe and expect things to happen. Do tangible things to grow your business. Reach out to people, let them know what you're doing, get your product or your service in front of people, and work your business. Touch it every single day, whether that's a message or, you meet with somebody for coffee. Touch your business every day. And that goes for new consultants too, because it's really easy to be like, okay, I'm not doing anything right now. I don't have anything on the calendar. And then a week and a half or 2 weeks goes by and you have a party, and then you're fumbling because you don't know what the product special is, and you don't know what, the current sales are, and you don't know what's in stock, and you're fumbling. But if you touch your business every day, you read your emails, you send your messages, it doesn't have to be a lot of time, but if you are in connection with it, you are not going to have those panicky moments, and your business is going to continue to flow. Whereas the stop and start, you really just have to like keep kickstarting it every time, and it takes so much more energy.
Yeah. It's like a relationship. Yeah. Like if you don't talk to your husband for like a week, then you go to date night and you're going to be like, who are you? Like, what are we doing here? Like,
yeah,
you got to stay connected. I think that's really important.
So much more energy. So yeah, stay connected. That's, and use the tools that your company has for you. There's so many companies out there that have amazing training portals and materials and everything from social learning to videos. And if you don't take advantage of those, then like your failure cannot be put on anybody but you if everything is there for you to use and you just like say it didn't work.
Right. Awesome. Let's see if there's any last minute questions here. Hey guys, up close and personal again.
Hey.
All right. I think we have somebody that said people are purchasing less from brick and mortar and more from online and friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's important
I agree. Small businesses, it's so funny because there's always the thing that goes around like Small Business Saturday and whatever, like we're so quick to purchase from, a Target and Amazon, places like that. But then when our friend is selling something, you can't be bothered purchasing from them. But like when you do that, you truly are like helping somebody out. You're not like giving money to a CEO. You're not helping them buy a new car. You're helping a mom like pay for dance lessons. You're helping a family go on vacation. You're helping somebody, maybe just pay their electric bill. And I think that's so much more valuable than of course, we all have to go to Target. And we all have to go to Walmart for things. I'm not downplaying that, but giving your money and your support to people who are building a life, I feel like it's so much more valuable.
Yeah, it makes a difference. Where giving your $10 to Target, like, does that really make a difference? Like, they're still going to be in business if you don't buy something or if you did buy something.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. This is, I feel like, kind of awkward. Like, I'm like right here.
But you're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Kelsey, you're cracking me up right now. She said that I can say it out loud because she put it for the world to read, right? Like,
this is true.
She's like, I don't know what size bra I wear, but I don't wear one, so it doesn't matter.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We've got lots of people that have listed kind of what their businesses are.
Okay.
Jennifer, is it Wofford?
Uh-huh.
She said she's my upline. She's giving you some love.
Yes, Jennifer's the bra lady.
All right, and I think we're back at the beginning. So has this not been super helpful for all of you watching tonight and that have your at-home businesses? I learned some things. I think that Brittany really shared her heart with us. She shared a lot of good tips with us and gave us a little peek into her life, and I really appreciate her. So thank you so much, Brittany, for being my first guest.
Such an honor.
My ReLive studio. It was a little hot in here, so we had to turn the air down, so I'm pretty sure my husband's probably freezing and put his parka on by now.
I mean,
you gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta have supportive men. Okay, so before we leave, I'd like you to tell everybody that's where they can find you if they need an uplift.
Okay, so you can find me on social media at Indiana Bra Lady. On both Facebook and Instagram. If you just type in Indiana Bra Lady, you will find me. And then my website is indianabralady.com. So the company is Essential Bodywear, but that is the quick and easy way that you can find me, shop products, and find out a little bit more about what I do. And by all means, reach out, send me a message if you have questions after you've watched this. You're curious about what I do personally, or just have some questions about direct sales in general, I'd be happy to answer those for you.
Yeah. And I'm sure she has her calendar made for September, so she could probably fit you in. Maybe it looks like we had some comments come in, so let's just, just people saying, hey guys. So I'm going to close this out, but not before I tell you what episode 2 is going to be about.
Nice.
So we had the pilot episode where you learned about me. We had tonight where we talked about Brittany and at-home businesses. Next week, I'm having my best friend from high school on, Kristen Taylor. She owns KT Photography. And the topic next week is photography, life through lenses. So I'm sure that will include some funny memories from Kristen and my's kind of life as high schoolers, and
life with you is just fun in general.
Yeah, it really is. So if you want to be a guest on my show, this was not painful, right? And
I got a glass of wine before I even sat down.
So it's totally fine. So I would love for you guys to do that. Remember, somewhere out there on my page is the Google form, and I'll probably submit that again. Topic ideas. I'm filling up. My goal is 20 episodes in season 1, so we'll probably go through December 17th.
This girl is on it. She's got it all planned out.
I'm trying, guys. This is really my passion, and I'm having a great time. And I would love to have anybody in that wants to come and talk. So if you missed it now, I'm hoping that you're going to watch the replay, and we'll catch you next week, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks. Bye. End. Yeah.